Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we are going to create this cool responsive website using only HTML and CSS. We are not going to use Bootstrap, jQuery or any other framework. So it is going to be just HTML and CSS, and you can see the website first. This is the landing page with some banner text. Then we have this text area. And then we have this parallax scrolling effect. Scroll down more and we have this image grid with a cool image hovering effect. Then we have this sort of panels, and here we have a different kind of hovering effect, some more text and images, and then we have these three panels with some tags, hovering effect over the panels as well. So we are going to have two different types of hovering effect over the images. Alright, then we have this footer with different sections. Alright, now let's see the responsiveness of the website. And you can see parts of the footer gets hidden when we reduce the size of the screen width. Keep reducing more and some more parts will disappear. Alright, so we are left with only two parts, that is the contact and about. As we go on increasing the screen width size, all those parts will start becoming visible again. You can see that we have these three panels in large screen width, and as we reduce the size of the screen width, we get one panel in one row. Same goes for this image grid. In large screen we have three images in one row, and when we reduce the size of the screen, the images start to stack up one in a row. So the website is pretty much responsive, and without any further ado, let's get into the coding. You can download the folder from the description of this video, which contains all of the images that we are going to need. It has all of the images that we are going to use. Then create a new text file, give it any name with .html extension. Alright, then open it in any text editor that you have. Then create a HTML tag and hit enter. A basic HTML file will be created by the text editor. Fill in the title. Then we need to write a meta tag for ensuring proper rendering and touch zooming in touch screen devices. Before getting into the code, we need to write a link to the font awesome icons, because we are going to use those font awesome icons for social links such as the Twitter, YouTube, Facebook and all that. So quickly open a new tab in your browser, search for font awesome CDN and open this first result, that is the font awesome bootstrap CDN by stackpath. And here we have the CDN link, copy it, then get back to the text editor, create a link tag, and in the link part paste the CDN link that we have copied in the browser. And before getting inside the body tag, let's give ID attribute to the body tag my page, so that we can access the top of the body from the bottom of the page by using this ID. Anyway, get inside the body tag. Let's start with the landing page part, that is the part of the website which will open up first when we open the website. So create a section tag, because we are going to define a new section, that is the landing page. And let's add the class attribute and the class as wrapper and ID as parallax-1, and we are going to use this ID to add the parallax effect to this landing page part. Alright, then get inside and create another div tag and write the class as overlay, and we will use this class overlay to add a slight gray color effect to the landing page image. Anyway, then get inside and create a header tag and write class as d-flex-r. So we are using this class to change the display property of this element to flex and the flex direction to row. I mean, we have not yet defined this class in the CSS, but we are going to define it later, and these are the properties that we are going to use with this class. That is, we want the display as flex and the flex direction as row, so that whatever we define under this element, they all get stacked next to each other in the same row. Space clear and justify -content -space-between, and we will use this class to change the justify content property to space-between, so that the elements inside this flex, they are justified in a way that they have space in between them. Alright, then get inside and let's define the logo, which has to be on the top left corner. For that, we are going to create a div and use class as my-1, and we are using this my-1 class to add margin top and margin bottom as 1 rem or 1 rem. These are some of the helpful classes that we are going to define in CSS and then use them throughout the website, because they are going to help a lot in setting up margin and padding right from the HTML without getting in the CSS. Anyway, then ID as logo, then get inside and create a tag, that is the link. Alright, then get inside and create the image tag, that is the img tag, and write the source as the img/logo.png. Alright, then get below and let's start with the navigation bar. Create a nav tag and write the class as fl_right, and we will use this class to change the float property to right. Then font-access, this is to get extra small font size. Text-uppercase, to transform the text to uppercase characters. Then ID as main-navbar. Don't worry about these classes, we are going to define them once we are finished with this landing page part. So we are going to define these classes most probably in the next video. Alright, then get down and create a UL tag, that is the unordered list tag, and class as clear. Clear will change the display to block for this UL tag. Then create a li tag, that is the list item, and class as active because we want the first link to be active. Alright, then create a tag, that is the link, and then write the text as home. Then get below and create another li tag. Get inside and create a tag. Write the text as hotels. Then get inside the li tag and create another ul tag because we are going to create a level 2 menu for this, so that when we hover over this hotels link, the link that we are going to define next will be displayed. So create a li tag, get inside and create a tag, then write some text and copy it and paste it few times to create some links. Alright, so these are the level 2 links. Then get outside this ul tag and the li tag and create a new li tag, that is the level 1 link. Get inside and create a tag and write the class as drop because we are going to have level 3 links in this. Alright, then get inside and create a ul tag. Then get inside again and create a li tag. Then create a link. Write level 2. Then again create a li tag. Create a tag and write the class as drop because this is also a drop down menu. And then write level 2 plus drop, and this will open up the level 3. So get inside and create a ul tag. Then get inside again and create a li tag and create a tag. Write the text as level 3. Alright, then create some more links. So the first link, that is the packages, was the level 1 link. Then these are the level 2 links and these 3 are the level 3 links. So get outside this li tag containing the packages and create a new li tag which is going to be the level 1 link, and create some links in this manner, and these are going to be the level 1 link. Alright, with this we have completed the navigation link. Open the file in the browser so we can track the progress. Alright, and now let's define the banner text. So create a div tag for that and write the id as banner text, class as d-flex-c. So this class is going to change the display property of this element to flex and the flex direction as column, so that all the items or all the elements that we are going to define within this div tags get stacked up in one column but in different rows. Alright, then create a article tag. Then get inside and create a paragraph text, that is the p tag, and class as my-1. As I have already told you, my-1 is going to add margin top and margin bottom to 1 rem or 1 rem. Then font access is going to get small size font. Then write the text, and if you want to transform the text to uppercase character, just add this class text-uppercase. Alright, then create a heading tag, a h1 tag, write class as heading, and we will use this heading class to add a different font style for the headings. Then text hyphen left to left align the text. Then text hyphen uppercase to transform the text to uppercase characters. Then text hyphen bold to change the font weight to bold. Then font x3 to get large font size. Then my-1 to add margin top and bottom as 1 rem. Then write the text or the heading for the website. Then get below and create a p tag, add some margin, so write my-3 to add margin top and margin bottom 3 rem or 3 rem, and font access. Alright, let me copy the text. Add a break tag to change the line. Then create a footer, and this is going to be the footer for this article. Don't get confused, this is not the footer for the entire body. Get inside and create a button tag and write the class as btn. We will define this btn class in CSS so that we can use this btn class throughout our website. Then write the text. So this completes the landing page part of the website in HTML. Now let's move to the CSS. So open the starter files folder again, which contains the images and where we have created this HTML file, and create a new text file. Write the name as style.css. We need to have this CSS extension. Alright, then open it in the text editor, and before we start with the styling, we need to add a link to that style.css file in our HTML file. Get inside the head tag and create a link tag, and in the link part write style.css. So these two files are linked now, and we can start with the styling. So first of all, we need to import the font family or the Google Fonts. Then let's define the font sizes first. Font access. Then font x1. Then font x2. And font x3. Alright. You can see that we have used these classes. Alright. So before personalizing the style of the website, we are going to create some of the helpful classes which we are going to use throughout in our HTML file. Then let's define the heading. Then let's define all of the margin classes. M-1 is going to add 1 RAM of margin all around. Similarly, M-2 is going to add 2 RAM or 2 RAM of margin all around. Then My-1 is going to add margin top and margin bottom as 1 RAM. Same goes for My-2 and My-3, My-4. Similarly, we are going to have Mx-1 for adding margin left and margin right. Let me define them. And for padding, we are going to have P-1 to get padding of 1 RAM all around, P-2, alright. Then let's style the HTML tags. Article, figure, section, display as block, margin as 0 and padding as 0. Then refer to the img tag, width as auto, maximum width as 100%, height as auto, margin 0, padding 0, border none. Then HTML tag, overflow along x-axis hidden and overflow along y-axis scroll. Then HTML and body, color as #FFF. This is to have that white font. Font size as 13 pixels, margin and padding 0, line height 1.6. This is the font for the rest of the body. Then H1, letter spacing as 5 pixels to space out the headings that we have defined with H1 tag. Now let's add some transition effect to all of the elements. This star selector selects all of the elements. E tag, no outline. Text hyphen decoration as none is going to remove the underline from the links. Then color as #333. This is dark gray color. Cursor as pointer. Then hovering effect. Alright, the text is white colored now. Then let's define the flex properties. D-flex-C, display as flex, and this !important rule is used to override any other value defined for this display property. Margin as 0 space auto and flex direction as column. Flex wrap as wrap. Then copy this entire block and change it to D-flex-R and flex direction to row. Alright, then justify-content-center. Alright. Now let's define some more general classes that we are going to use throughout the HTML part. Then display as block, width as 100%, no margin and no padding, left align the text, word wrap as break word. Alright, then let's add some padding to the container. Let's define two background colors, bg-gray and bg-green. This is a kind of sea green color. Then let's define the buttons .btn, display as inline-block to keep it in line with other elements, padding as 8 pixels top bottom and 18 pixels left right, text transformation to uppercase and border as 1 pixel solid, cursor to pointer. And we are going to use a separate class that is inverse with the btn class whenever we want to reverse the properties of this btn class. For example, using btn space inverse as the class for any button is going to make that button transparent and the font color will be in white. And if we remove that inverse class and just write btn with the button, then the color of the button will get reversed. That is, the color of the button will be sea green, and when we hover over the button it will become transparent. So you can observe that hovering effect over the btn class and the combination of btn and inverse class are both same. And even if you don't understand what I am trying to explain here, don't worry, you will understand it later when we start using these classes in the HTML. Then let's define the clear class. Alright, then let me define some text classes to format the text. Then let's define the float class. And we need to add one more class for making sure that we don't get any margin or padding. For that we are going to use this no space class. And it will be better if we keep this class near where we have defined all of the margin and padding classes. Alright. And you can see the button now. This is a simple button with class btn. So when we hover over it, the background of the button changes to transparent. If we have used btn space inverse class with the button tag, then the button would have been transparent at the beginning, and when we hover over it, it would have turned green. We have defined all of the helpful CSS classes. Now let's start personalizing the website according to our design. Then let's start with the parallax scrolling effect. Reference the section containing this parallax by using the ID of that section, that is #parallax-1, and let's change the background first. URL img/bg-1.jpg. This image is in the image folder or the img folder inside the starter files folder that you might have downloaded already. Then space fixed space no hyphen repeat, and keeping background attachment as fixed is going to get that parallax scrolling effect, which means the image will stay put where it is, and if we scroll down it will create a parallax scrolling effect. And then no repeat is going to make sure the image is not repeated if the size of the screen is very big and image size is small. Then minimum height as 720 pixels. Alright. Then background position as center. This is the ID of the section tag. And now let's style this overlay class to add a color effect. So reference that, and minimum height 720 pixels. Alright. Then dot overlay and position as relative, z index as 1, background color RGBA 0,0,0,3 and exclamation mark important. So I have defined this overlay class separately so that you can use this class later if you want to use it with other part of the website also. Alright, let's increase it. Alright, then let's start with the navigation bar. And first let's resize the logo. Alright. Then the unordered list and the ordered list tag inside the navigation bar. Margin 0, padding 0. And list style as none. This is going to remove the bullet symbol. Then let's start with the navigation bar. Main-nav bar. Line height as normal. Then the list item inside the navigation bar. Display as inline block so that they can be stacked in one row, and position as relative, and margin as 0 space 15 pixels space 0 space 0. So we are adding margin only to the right. Then padding as 0. Alright. Then hash main -navbar space li colon last -child margin -right to 0 so that we can get rid of the margin on the rightmost link. Alright. Then let's style the A tags inside the navigation bar. Display as block. Padding as 25 pixels top bottom and 0 pixels left right. And color as inherit. Alright. Then hash main -navbar space li space li width as 100% and margin as 0. This is going to style the level 2 list items. Alright. Then hash main -navbar space li colon hover greater than sign and A. This is going to reference the A tags, which are the direct child of the li tag of the level 2. Then color as hash triple F. Background color as 57 ADC4. Then hash main -navbar space dot drop, and we have used this drop class for getting that drop down menu effect. Then padding left as 15 pixels. Then main -navbar space ul. This is going to style the level 2 unordered list tag. And then z index as 9999. Then position as absolute. Width as 180 pixels. Text transform none. Visibility as hidden. Opacity as 0 because we want the level 2 and level 3 items to be hidden until we start scrolling over the level 1 link items. Then hash main -navbar space li space A. So this is going to style the level 2 links as well as the links of the level 3 by using this drop class. So display as block. margin as 0, padding as 10 pixels and 15 pixels. Then hash main hyphen navbar space ul space li colon hover greater than sign ul visibility as visible and opacity as 1. So this is going to make the links visible when we hover over the link of the level 1. You can see that. And even the level 3 links are visible now, but we want them to open up on the right side. Alright, then hash main hyphen navbar space li dot drop colon after top as 15, left as 5 pixels, then hash main hyphen navbar dot drop colon after comma hash main hyphen navbar space li dot drop colon after, and the content as backslash f0d7 semicolon, and this is going to add a small arrow symbol, then position as absolute, and font family as font awesome, A is capital, then font size as 10 pixels and line height as 10 pixels. And you can see that small arrow symbol which represents that it is a drop down menu. Alright, then hash main hyphen navbar space dot active space A, then hash main hyphen navbar space A colon hover comma hash main hyphen navbar space li colon hover greater than sign A. This is going to style the active link as well as the hovering effect over the links. Color as hash triple F. Font size as 1.1 RAM. Font weight as 600. Background color as inherit. Alright. Main hyphen navbar space dot drop colon after top 30 pixels, left 5 pixels, alright. Hash main hyphen navbar ul space ul. This is going to reference the third level link or the level 3 link. So now the level 3 links are opening up to the right of the level 2 links. So now let's just align this navigation links. Inside the header class we have used this justify-content-space-between class. So let's define that class where we have defined the rest of the flex properties. Alright. So the navigation bar is complete, and now let's position the banner text. So write hash banner hyphen text and position as relative, top as 150 pixels, margin left as 100 pixels, border left 3 pixels, space solid, space white, padding left 50 pixels, alright. If you want you can keep it this way, or if you want you can add this background color to the text, this sea green color background to the text. So write hash banner hyphen text space p comma hash banner hyphen text space h1, then define the background color. Alright. Let's limit the width of h1 and p tags to maximum width as max content. Alright. Now that depends entirely upon you whether you want to keep it like this or without the background color. That is totally up to you. And to make it look even better, we should change the hovering color of the navigation bar to the sea green color that we have used with the buttons. So scroll to this part, hash main navbar space li colon hover greater than a, and change the background color to 2E8B57. This will change the hovering color to sea green. This is the same color that we have used with the rest of the elements. Anyway, with this we have completed the landing page, the navigation bar as well as the banner text. And before moving to the next part, get inside the navigation bar again, and within the li tag which has defined the packages link, let me just add one more level 2 link, copy it and paste it after the closing of the level 3 links. Alright, then let's start with the text section that is going to be beneath the cover image, and let's first create the section tag, and let's call it wrapper. Then text dark to get dark colored font, then BG gray to get a slight gray background, then get inside and create a div tag, and let's call it d-flex-c. This will change the display property to flex and the flex direction to column, because the elements that we are going to define within this div tag have to be stacked one in a row. Then space container to add some padding around it. Alright, then get inside and let's first create the title for this section. Create a div element and let's call it text center to keep the text center aligned. Then get inside and create a h6 tag, that is the heading tag, and write the class as heading to change the font style. Space text hyphen uppercase to change the characters to uppercase characters. then my-1 to add 1 rem of padding top and below it, space font-x2, and we have already defined these classes before. If you want, you can refer to the style.css and see what are the properties that we have defined within these classes, and then write any text for the heading. Alright, then get down and create a paragraph text or a p tag and write the class as my-3 to add 3 rem of margin top and below it. Let me just copy the text from the website. Alright, paste it, and you can write any other text that you want. Alright, then let's define the rest of the text. Create a div tag, get inside and create another div tag and write class as 1 underscore half and id as extra text. Then get inside and create a unordered list tag, that is the ul tag, and write class as mx-2. This is going to add 2 rem of margin left and right. Then get inside and create li tag and write class 1 underscore half space my-1. Then get inside and create a article tag, and then within that we are going to create the heading tag or the h6 tag and write class as heading space font-x1. Then get inside and create a link and write the text as any text that you want. Let me just copy the text from the website. Alright, paste it, and this is the HTML code for adding 3 dots. Alright, let's add class as no space text hyphen justify to the paragraph text or the p tag. Alright, then we need to create one more paragraph of text, so we can just copy this li tag. You can see where this li tag is closing, and copy this entire block and just paste it below 3 times. This is going to create 4 paragraph text. You can see where this div tag is closing after the closing of ul tag. And get outside it. Create a new div tag and write class as 1 underscore half space my-1 and id as main text. We are giving this id because we are going to hide the element referred by id extra text in small screens, and we will retain this element which has this main text id. Then get inside and create a paragraph text and write class as font access. This will create very small font size and my-1. Then write the text. In the same way, create a heading tag. And write any heading. Then create a paragraph text. Write class as text-justify. So we have created these two headings, and let me copy the text here, paste it here. Alright, and let me copy this entire p tag and paste it once. Alright, then add one class to this p tag, the bottom one, my-1, to add some margin top and below it. Alright, then create a footer. This is not the footer for the entire body, this is the footer for this div tag, and we are going to create a button inside it. Create a button tag and write class as btn. We have already defined this btn class. Then write the text within it. Alright, so now let's define the 1_half class. Get inside the style.css and refer to that class by using dot. Then display as inline block, float as left, list style as none because we do not want the bullet symbol, width as 48%. So the 1/2 class is going to divide its container into half, and we are giving it 48% of the width because we want some space for margin and padding as well. So 48% is fine. Alright, we need to add some margin to the left of the text. Alright, then remove this margin of 1 RAM top and bottom from the third and the fourth li tag. That is, remove the my-1 from the class of the third and the fourth li tag. We need to add some margin to the left of the text. Add some margin using the id. Alright, this is the extra text and this is the article tag that is going to be referred, and these are the articles. Alright, and now we need to create this parallax image section. Okay, then let's start with the parallax scrolling effect on the second image that is going to be beneath the text section. So create a section tag and let's call it wrapper and id as parallax-2. Then create a article tag and write class SD-flex-c. This will change the display property of this article element to flex and the flex direction as column. Container to add some padding. Then text-center to center align the text. Then get inside and create a div element and write class as my-2 to add 2 RAM of margin top and bottom. Then get inside and create the heading tag or the h6 tag and write the class as heading space font-x2. Then write the heading inside it. Then create a p tag and you can write any text that you want. Alright, then get outside the div tag and create a button tag within the article tag and write class as btn space inverse. Because of this inverse class, we are going to get a transparent button which will turn sea green when we hover over it. Then write the text inside it. You can see that we have the button but it is transparent. So get inside the style.css. Let's reference to the Parallax ID, Parallax-2 ID. Then write the background as URL img/bg-2.jpg space fixed space no hyphen repeat. And I have already explained how we get this parallax effect using background attachment as fixed. Alright, let's enclose this button tag inside paragraph text or the p tags. Alright, so now let's start with the image grid. Alright, get in the HTML file and create a section tag and let's write the class as wrapper space text hyphen dark to make the font color dark. Then bg hyphen gray to add a slight gray background to this section. And then let's have the ID as destinations so that we can use this ID later in the CSS to apply some styling to this section. Alright, then get inside and create a div tag and let's write the class as container. This will add some padding around it. Then d-flex-c. This will change the display property to flex and the flex direction to column so that the elements which we are going to define inside this div are stacked vertically, one in a row as we have already seen. Alright, then get inside again and let's start with the title for this section. This is going to be the main heading for the section. So let's create a div tag and let's write the class as text-center. This will align the text in the center of the screen or the center of the div tag. Alright, then get inside and create a heading tag, a h6 tag, and let's write the class as heading space my-1 to add margin of 1 RAM top and bottom. Then font x2. Alright, then write the text Then get inside and create a paragraph text or a p tag, and let's write the class as my-1. Alright, then let me just copy the text from the website. If you want, you can write any other thing that you want. Alright, refresh. Maybe we can increase the margin top and bottom. Alright, so we have defined the title, and now let's define the images. We are going to define the images in a row, so there will be 3 images in one row. Then we will define the rest of the 2 rows in the same way. So it will be easy if we can just define the first row and copy it and paste it twice, and then adjust the names as well as the source files for the images to get the different images and the different text that we want with them. So it will be very easy. So now let's just define the first row, create a UL tag or a unordered list tag, and let's write the class as d-flex-r, because we want the display property as flex and the flex direction as row, so that the elements which we are going to define inside this will be stacked next to each other in one row. No space, to remove any space around it, so that the images or the elements inside it are next to each other without any margin or padding around it. Alright, then get inside and create a li tag, and let's write the class as hover1, because we are going to define 2 different types of image hovering effect, and this is going to be the first one, so let's write it hover1 for now. Then get inside and create a img tag, and this is where we are going to define the image. So write the source as img/india.jpg. If you have already downloaded the starter files, then you might be having this img folder as well as the images inside it, so you need not worry about these things and just write whatever source I am writing here. Then get inside and create a div tag and write the class as overlay. Now whatever text we are going to define under this div tag will be displayed when we hover over the image. So it will be displayed as a kind of image hovering effect. So let's create a h2 tag and write India. Then create a link, that is the a tag, and let's write the class as info, because we are going to use this class later in the CSS, so make sure you use these classes. Alright, if you want, you can open the img folder and you can see the images that we are going to refer. Alright, so you can see that this li tag completely defines one image. So we can copy this entire li tag and then paste it twice to get 3 images in one row. Alright, now we just need to change the names of the images so that we get different images. So we can see the image now. So in this way we have created one row of 3 images. Now we can just copy this entire ul tag and paste it twice, so that we can create 2 more rows in the same way. And if you want, you can leave a small comment here so that you know where the second row is starting. And then we will adjust the names of the images and the text. let's say it's France, or you can follow any order of the image that you want. It is irrelevant, it is not important. I am just randomly writing the names of the images. Alright, then leave a comment for the third row, again paste it. Alright, and let me just adjust the names of the image again. And let me just change the headings as well according to the image. Alright, so you can see that we have all the images, all the 9 images now, as well as we have the text below the image. You can see that. So this completes the HTML part for this section. Now let's move to the style.css and let's start by writing a comment, destinations. And if you remember, we have given a ID destinations to the section containing this entire part. So let's refer to that. Write hash symbol and then the name or the ID space UL, because UL tag is a child of the section tag, then space LI because LI tag is the child of the UL, and both of these are HTML tags, so we don't have to write a hash or a dot before them. Then get inside and write maximum width or max width as 300 pixels. So this will limit the width of the image to 300 pixels. Alright, but we don't have any hovering effect as of now. And before moving any further, let me just make a small change to the place where we have defined the flex properties. So there we have defined a justify content center class. We can just get rid of it and add one more property to the d-flex-r class, that is add justify-content to center, because we are going to use this property every time we use this display as flex and the flex direction as column. So it is better to change the property here in the class itself instead of using a separate class for this purpose. And the images are now center aligned, and we need to now just add the hovering effect, which we are going to do in the next video. So now let's start with the image hovering effect, and this is done entirely using the CSS. So just get inside the style.css and let's start with the hover1 class, because we are going to define two different types of hovering effect. And if you remember, we have used hover1 class while defining the image grid, so let's just refer to that. Then width as 100%, height as 100%, float to left, then overflow hidden, position as relative, and text align as center, and the cursor to default. Alright, so you can see that we have the hover1 class, then inside it we have this overlay class. So let's start with that. Write dot hover1 space dot overlay. So this is going to refer to all of the overlay classes which are inside the hover1 class. Then width as 100%, height as 100%, position as absolute, because we want the content which are inside this overlay class to be in a fixed position. Overflow as hidden, then top as 0, left as 0, opacity as 0, because we want it to be transparent by default and then get visible only when we hover over the respective image. Then background color RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0.5. This will give it kind of a gray background color. Transition all 0.4 seconds, space cubic hyphen BEZIER, open brackets 0.88 minus 0.99, 0, 1.81. And this transition property is a shorthand property for 4 different types of properties. First is the transition property, second is the transition duration, third is the transition timing function, and fourth is the transition delay. So all here means that all the properties will get a transition effect. Then 0.4 seconds is the duration of the transition. Then the third part is the transition timing function, and this transition timing function property specifies the speed curve of the transition effect. And there are several transition timing functions from which we can use. For example, the default one is the ease, which is used to specify a transition effect with a slow start, then it increases the speed and then again ends very slowly. Then we have linear, which specifies a transition effect with the same speed from the starting to the end, so it has the same speed throughout the transition. So similarly there are various other, and the one that we are using is a cubic Bezier function in which we can define our own values. So even if you don't understand this, just leave it out. You just need to understand one thing, that this CSS transition is used to change property values very smoothly from one value to the another over a given duration. Let's refresh. So you can see that the text is hidden now. It is actually there starting from the top left corner, but because of the opacity set to 0, it is not visible. Then let's style the image. Display as block, then position as relative, and let me just copy this entire transition and paste it here also. Then let's style the h2 inside the hover1 class. Text transform to uppercase. This is just to make it look better. Then color as #FFF. Text align as center. Position as relative. Font size to 17 pixels. background RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.6. 0.6 is the alpha value which defines the opacity for the color, and the 3 zeros in the beginning define a black color. Then transform, translate Y in brackets minus 100 pixels. Then paste the transition property once again. Padding as 10 pixels. This is the h2 tag that we are referencing, and now let's reference this info class. Dot hover1 space a dot info. Because this info class is the sibling of the a tag, that is why we are not leaving any space in between. So try to understand this. This info class is not a child of the a tag. Instead, this info class is a sibling of the a tag. That is why we are not leaving any space between a and dot info. This is just how we use CSS selectors. Then text decoration as none. This will remove the underline from the link. Then display as inline block. Text transform uppercase. Then color as hash triple F. Then border 1 pixels space solid space hash triple F. This will add 1 pixel wide white colored border all around it. Then background color as transparent. Opacity as 0. Transition all 0.4 seconds ease. So because of this ease, the transition will start very slowly, then pick up the pace and turn a little bit fast, then it will again become slow at the end. Then margin 50 pixels space 0 space 0. Padding 7 pixels top bottom, 14 pixels left right. Now let's define the hovering effect over this info class. Box shadow as 0, 0, 5 pixels, hash triple F. Then let's define the hovering effect over the hover1 class. Then write dot hover1 colon hover space image. Then transform to scale in bracket 1.2. So this will increase the size of the image when we hover over the hover1 class. Alright. Now we need to display the text. So write dot hover1 colon hover dot overlay opacity as 1. So this will just change the opacity from 0 to 1, which in turn will make the overlay class visible. Now we need to make the text visible also. So write dot hover1 colon hover space h2 comma dot hover1 colon hover space a dot info and opacity to 1. Then transform translate y in brackets 0. Alright. Then write dot hover1 colon hover space a dot info transition hyphen delay to 0.2 seconds. So we have the desired image hovering effect. So the first image hovering effect is complete. Let's start with the other issues section. This section is going to have some panels. So let's start with the section tag and let's write the class as wrapper. Text hyphen dark to get the dark color font. Then ID as other hyphen issues. We are going to use this ID later in the media query part, where we will use this ID to change the direction of the flex so that we get the panels one in a row because of the screen width limitation in small screen device. And in large screen we are going to have all the 4 panels in one row. So then get inside and create a div tag and let's write the class as d-flex-c to change the display property to flex and the flex direction to column, and then space container. Then quickly get inside and create the title. Create a div tag, write the class as text-center space my-2. And let me just copy the text from here just to save some time. Alright, then create a p tag and let me copy the text once again. Alright, let's refresh. So we have it. Get inside the h6 tag, write the class as heading. This will change the font style. Then write font-x2 to change the font size. Alright. Let's start with the panels. Create a div tag and let's write the class as d-flex-r because we want all the 4 panels to be in one row. Then create a article tag and write the class as hover1, and we don't have to define the hover1 class in the CSS because if you remember we have defined the hover1 class and all the respective classes which we are going to need for the image hovering effect. So we just have to follow the same structure, that is the outermost class has to be hover1, then the overlay has to be inside it, and similarly the info class has to be inside overlay. So we just need to follow the same structure. mx-2 to add some margin on the left and the right side. Then get inside and create a tag. Get inside it and create a figure tag. Then again get inside it and create a img tag and then write the source of the image. The image is already in the img folder, so you don't have to worry about that as long as you are keeping this web page inside the same folder, the starter file folder. You don't have to worry about the source file name or the file name of the image and the source. And you can see that the image hover effect is already working because we have already defined the hover1 class. So let me just copy the text from here. Alright. Then get outside the A tag, create a H3 tag and write class as heading space font hyphen x1. Then write any heading. Then get inside and create a P tag and let me just paste the text. Alright, so in this way we have created one panel. We just have to copy this entire block of article tag. Alright, then paste it 3 more times. Let me just change the name of the images. The images are in the starter file folder, so don't worry about it. And change the name of the headings as well. Notice that we are not using any overlay class or the info class inside it because we don't want any text to be displayed when we hover over the panel or when we hover over the image. So we have not used them. Let's just make one more correction. Get inside the style.css and scroll to the part where we have defined the flex properties. Then under the first one, d-flex-c, remove this flex-wrap. Similarly, under d-flex-r, remove the flex-wrap. Alright. So we are using a different kind of hover than the one in the example page. So I just used the same class to show you. So if you like this hovering effect, you can keep it, or else I am going to define a new hovering effect just like the one we have in our example page. So for that, let us just change the name of the class from hover1 to hover2. If you want, you can keep the same class, it's totally up to you. I have to show two different types of hovering effect, that is why I have to define this one also, but it depends upon you which one you like. Then inside the figure tag, you can just add one class my-1 to add some margin on the top and bottom. Looks quite better now. Similarly, in the p tag, write class as text-justify, and we have already defined text-justify class in the CSS, so we just have to use the name of the class and add this class to all the p tags. So the text becomes justified. Alright, it looks much better now, and now we just need to have the hovering effect, and we will do that in the next video. So get inside the CSS file again, and let's start with the comment that this is going to be the second image hovering effect. Alright, then write .hover2 because this is the class that we have used, then space figure space img. So this will refer the img tag which is inside the figure tag, which is inside this hover2 class. Then transform rotate in bracket 15 degrees space scale in bracket 1.4. So this will transform the image by increasing its size and rotating it to 15 degrees. Then transition 0.3 seconds, ease -in -out. Alright, refresh, and you can see that the image is rotated by 15 degrees. Even the size of the image is increased. Now .hover2 space figure :hover space img, transform rotate in brackets 0 space scale in brackets 1. So this means that when we hover over the figure tag or the area covered by the figure tag, the image is going to get back to its original rotation, that is 0, as well as the size of the image will be back to normal. You can see that in the website now. When we hover over it, the image goes back to its original position and its original size. Now let's limit the size of this figure tag. Overflow as hidden. So this completes the second image hovering effect. This was quite easy. So let's start with the customize section, and in this section we are going to have image on one side of the screen, and on the second side we are going to have some text and a button beneath it. Let's start with a comment. And let's create a section tag. Then let's write the class as wrapper. And let's have the ID as customize package. We are going to use this ID later in the CSS part for some customization or styling. Then get inside and create a div tag. And let's write the class as d-flex-r, because the section or the contents that we are going to define under this needs to be stacked next to each other in one row, because on one side we are going to have the text and on the second side we are going to have the image, and both of them have to be in the same row. Alright, then get inside and create a div tag. And let's write the class as 1_half. So this div tag will take the half width of the screen, and under this we are going to define the text. Similarly, create one more div tag and write the class as 1_half. so that half and half makes a full. Okay, then let's add some more class text-dark to change the font color of the text. Then text-right to right align the text. And we have already defined all of these classes if you remember. Then get inside and create another div tag, and let's write the class as border-right, because we are going to have a red colored border right next to the text, and we will define this class later. Get inside and create a h6 tag and write any text that you want. And let me just copy the text from the website and paste it inside p tag. Alright, so we have the bare structure. Let's write some class to h6 tag, font x2 to increase the size of the font. Heading to change the font style and increase the line height. Then get inside the second div tag which contains this class 1_half, and let's write id as fixed-1, because in this part we are going to define an image. It will not have the parallax scrolling effect. It will stay fixed as we scroll through it. So get inside the style.css and let's start with the styling. Then write #customize-package because that is the ID of the entire section. Then space dot border-right. We have used this class with the div tag which has defined the text. So let's define border right 10 pixels space solid space #2e8b57. Alright. #customize-package space #fixed-1. This is the ID that we have used for the div that has to contain the image. So background, the URL open bracket img/bg-1.jpg close bracket, no hyphen repeat. Then let's declare the height for this image as 650 pixels and background position as center. Alright. Let's change the height. Now it is looking similar to our example web page. Now let us add some margin to the div tag which contains the text. Because the margin is for the entire div, so it will increase the distance between the image and the div tag. Now let's add some padding so that we get some space between the border and the text. Now let's add some more margin on the left and the right side of the div which has this 1_half class. Alright. Now we just need to add the button. So get inside the div containing 1/2 class, and below this div let's create a P tag, and inside it let's create a button tag. Write the class as btn space inverse because we want the button to be transparent in the beginning and get green colored when we hover over it. Then write the text for the button. Alright. Let's add some margin all around it. Alright. Let's start with our blog section. In this section we are going to have some panels. Then create a section tag and let's write the class as wrapper space text hyphen dark, and let's have the ID as r hyphen blog. Then get inside and create a div tag and let's have the class as d hyphen flex hyphen c, so that all the elements which we are going to define under this gets stacked up in one column. Then space container. Then let's get inside and start with the title for this section. Create a div tag and let's have the class as text hyphen center space my-2. This is going to add some margin on the top and the bottom. Then create a h6 tag and let's write the heading. Then create a paragraph text or a p tag and write any text that you want. Alright. Let's add class heading to the h6 tag. Then font x2 to increase the font size. Then text hyphen uppercase to change the characters to uppercase. Alright. Then let's define the panels. So we are going to define one panel and then we are going to copy the codes for that panel and then change the rest of them according to our design. So let's define a div tag and let's write the class as d-flex-r because we want all the panels in one row. Then get inside and let's start with the first panel. Create a article tag and let's write the class as hover2 because we are going to use the second type of image hovering effect that we have defined already. Then create a figure tag, get inside and create a tag which is an anchor tag. Then get inside and create a img tag or the image tag and let's write the source as img/portfolio-1.jpg. Alright. Then create a h3 tag and write class as m-2 to add 2 RAM of margin all around it. Then text hyphen center, heading, font x1. Then write the text as blog heading or any heading that you want. Alright. Get below it and create a ul tag Then get inside and create a li tag. Get inside this li tag and create a I tag, and let's write the class as fa space fa hyphen user. This is the class that we have to use if we want to use font awesome icons, and we have different class for different icons. Then get outside I tag and create a e tag, and let's write the text as admin. And let me just quickly copy this entire li tag so that we can paste it few more times. And then just change the type of the font awesome icon and the respective text. Alright. Then get outside the ul tag and create a p tag. Then write the class as text-justify to justify the text that we are going to define under the panels. Then let me just quickly copy the text from the website and paste it in the p tag. You can write any other text that you want. Then get outside the p tag and create a footer tag. Get inside it, then create a button tag and write the class as btn. Then write the text for the button. Alright, so we have the button as well. Let's write class as text-center to the footer. This will center line the button. And if you want to know, we have to follow the same structure of the tags. That is, we need to have the article tag outside, then figure tag inside it, so that we can have the hovering effect. Because the way we have defined the CSS selectors that we have used while defining the hovering effect has to be followed in the HTML part as well. And that is why we have used this article tag and then inside it the figure tag and then the img tag inside it. Anyway, then let's just copy this entire article tag and we can paste it to create the second panel. And in the same way, we can paste it again to create the third panel. Alright, we have all the three panels. The hovering effect is there. Now we just need to style them. Maybe add some margin around them. So get inside the first panel and in the article tag just add one class M-2. This is going to add 2 RAM of margin all around it. Add the same class to second panel as well as the third panel. Alright. Then let's change the name of the images to have different images on different panels. Alright. Then let's change the letters in the heading to uppercase characters. Just add the class text-uppercase in the h3 tag. Add it to all of the panels. Alright. Then get inside the p tag and add M-2 to add 2 RAM of margin all around the p tag. This looks much better now. So let's add the same class M-2 to the footer as well. Now let's add this M-2 class to the p tag of the second panel. as well as the footer of the second panel, then the p tag of the third panel, as well as the footer of the third panel. Now get inside the UL tag and add the class meta space M-1. We are going to define this meta class in the CSS, and M-1 is going to add 1 RAM of margin all around it, and just copy it and paste it inside the rest of the UL tags of the second and the third panels. Alright, so get inside the style.css, then write hash r-blog background URL img/bg-world.png. These images are already in the img folder that you might have downloaded already, so you don't have to worry about all these things. Alright. Then hash r-blog space dot meta space li, then display inline block font size 0.8 rem. This will remove the bullet symbol next to the font awesome icons. Alright. Hash rblog space dot meta space li colon after margin left 5 pixels, content pipe symbol. It is generally above the enter key. You need to press the shift key as well as the key which is just above the enter key. Now we need to get rid of the last pipe. So write hash r-blog space dot meta space li colon last child colon after margin left 0, content empty string, that is, don't write anything within the double inverted commas or within double quotes. Alright. Hash r-blog space article colon not, then open bracket colon first child close bracket open curly brackets margin left 4%. Alright. Hash rblog space article border 1 pixel space solid space hash triple D. This will add a gray color border. Hash r blog space article colon hover box shadow 0 space 20 pixels space 80 pixels space 0 space RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0.5. Alright, so the panels are complete, and let's move to the next part of this website. Okay, now let's start with the last section of this website, that is going to be the footer. So get outside the section tag that was used to define our blog section, and let's start with the footer. So let's create a div tag and let's write the class as wrapper, then bg-green to have that green color background for the footer. This div tag is just a wrapper for the footer. We are going to define the footer inside this. So get inside and create a footer tag, and let's write the class as d-flex-r, because we want the elements which we are going to define next to be stacked in one row next to each other. Space clear, space container, space text-white. Then get inside and create another div tag, and let's have the class as mx-2 to have 2 RAM of margin left and right. Then get inside and create a h6 tag and have the class as heading to change the font style. Then font x1 space my-1 to have 1 RAM of margin top and bottom. Then write the text, drop down and create a ul tag, and let's have the class as no space to remove all the space and padding. Space linked list, we are going to use this class to add some margin on the bottom of the list. Space contact, and we will use this class to format or style this section or this part. Then get inside and create a li tag. Then get inside again and create a I tag. Let's have the class as fa space fa-map-marker. This is the syntax if we want to use any font awesome icons, and this class is going to get a map marker icon. So we want this icon next to the address that we are going to write. Then get inside and create a address tag. Then you can write any address that you want. Alright. Then get outside it and create another li tag. And in the same way, let's create a I tag and define a font icon using the font awesome icons, and then write any number that you want. You can see the icon next to the number. Alright, then get down and create another li tag, and in the same way let's create a I tag and have the class as fa space fa-envelope-o. Envelope-o signifies that we want a opened envelope, and we are going to place it next to our email ID. So just write the email ID outside the I tag. Get down and create another li tag and create a I tag and have the class as fa space fa-YouTube. This will get a small YouTube icon. Alright, just like the one we have in our example web page. And since we want this icon to be a link, let's keep it inside anchor tag or the e tag, so that when we click on this icon, we are redirected to your YouTube page or YouTube channel. And let's write class as text-white, and then you can specify the link for your YouTube channel. And then target attribute as _blank. because when we click on this link, we want it to be open in a new tab so that we don't leave or so that we don't browse away from the current web page that we are browsing through. Then get outside the I tag and write the text as the name of your channel. Alright. Then get outside the div tag and let's create another div tag and have the class as mx-2. Then get inside it and let's create a heading. And write the class as heading space my-1 space font-x1. Then create a ul tag and write the class as no space so that we get rid of all the padding and the margin, space linked list, because we are going to define a kind of a list below it. Then get inside and create a li tag. Then create a tag and you can write any link that you want. Then copy this entire li tag, paste it again and just change the name of the links. And if you have the URL for these links, you can also place them in place of that hash symbol. Since I don't have any URL for these pages, that's why I'm just leaving a hash symbol. Alright. Then copy this entire div tag. And then let's just change the heading from about to company. Then appropriately change the name of the links as well. Alright. Then let's paste the div tag that we have copied again. Then just change the name of the heading and then get rid of this entire ul tag and all the li tags that are within it. We don't need it because under subscribe subheading we are going to have some input boxes where the user can enter his email ID and press on the submit button. Create a p tag and let's have the class as my-1 to add 1 RAM of margin top and bottom of this p tag, and then write some text. Get below it and create a form tag. Let's have the method as post and action we can leave out. You don't have to write anything, just leave a hash symbol. Then get inside and create a field set tag, and under this let's create input tag. Write the type attribute as text, class attribute as my-1, then placeholder attribute as name. Whatever we write under this placeholder attribute is displayed in the input box on the page by default so that the user gets an idea what values has to be entered in that input box. Then get outside it and create another input tag. Let's have the type as email. Then get down and create button tag and let's have the class as btn because we have already defined the btn class for the buttons, so we just have to use the same class. And then write the text for the button. Alright. Then get outside this div tag and let's create a new div tag. Write the class as mx-2 and id as instaFeed. We are going to use this ID in the CSS later to refer to this div tag and make the appropriate stylings. So anyways, get inside and create a h6 tag and write the class as heading my-1 and font x1, and then we can write the heading as instaFeed. Then get below and create a div tag, and let's write the class as d-flex-r and create a anchor tag or the a tag, and inside it create a img tag and write the source as img/india.jpg. You can use any other image that you want. I'm just using some random images. And in the anchor tag, instead of having a hash symbol, you can write the URL of the appropriate Insta post if you have that. Copy this entire a tag and paste it, and then let's just change the name of the images. So this will create two images in one row. Let's copy this entire div tag, paste it again, and then change the name of the images. In this way, we are going to get two rows of images. Similarly, paste it once again. This will be the third row of two images. Change the name of the images. Let's see in the browser. Alright, so we have three rows of two images each. Let's add some margins. Get in the div tag which is defining the first row and add my-1. Let's add this to all the three div tags defining the images. Alright, now let's add one class to the img tag mx-1 to add some margin on the right and the left. And let me just add this class to all the first images of three rows. Alright. Now get outside this footer tag and create a new div tag. And let's write the class as d-flex-r so that whatever we define under this gets stacked up next to each other in one row. Then space clear, space justify-content -space-between. I think we have already defined this class before in the CSS. Even if we don't have defined this, we will define it later. This justify-content-space-between class will make the elements inside this justified in a way that they have space in between them. Then id as copyright. Then get inside and create a p tag, and let's have the class as d-flex-r. Then write the text $copy semicolon. This is the code for getting that copyright symbol. Then create a tag and then write your domain name. Get outside the p tag, create a tag, and in the link part write #mypage. If you remember, we have used this text as the ID of the body. You can see it here. So when we click on this link, we will be scrolled up to the top of the body of our page. Then let's write the ID as back to top and get inside and create a I tag. Let's have the class as fa -chevron-up. This will create a up angle sign. Then get outside the E tag and create a P tag and write the class as d-flex-r and write the text as template by. Create a E tag, write any link that you want. Alright, so the HTML part is complete. We now need to move to the CSS part. Add one ID to our footer so that we can use it to refer to the footer. Save it. Then let's refer to the footer using that ID #main-footer. Since it is an ID, we need to use a hash symbol before the name of the ID to refer to it. Border bottom, 1 pixel solid white. Alright. Then #main-footer space dot linked list space li, margin bottom 5 pixels. This will add some margin on the bottom of the linked list that we have defined. Then #main-footer space dot linked list space li colon last hyphen child. This will remove the margin from the last child, that is the last link or the last li tag inside the linked list class, and also the border as none and the padding as 0. Alright, then refer to the footer again, main-footer space dot contact dot linked list space li. Make sure you don't leave space in between the contact and dot linked list, since these two are siblings, because these two classes have been used with the same element, so they are kind of sibling. If you leave a space in between, that means you are trying to tell the computer that okay, this contact is the parent of linked list, but it is not like that. They both are sibling, so don't leave space there. Then comma #main-footer space dot contact dot linked list li colon last hyphen child. And you can see where we have used this linked list class along with the contact class. Position as relative, padding left as 40 pixels. Alright. Then #main-footer space dot contact space li space I, display as block, position as absolute, top 0 left 0. This will align the I tag starting from the top left corner. Width as 30 pixels and font size as 16 pixels. then text hyphen align center. Alright, then again hash main hyphen footer space input comma main hyphen footer space button. This will style the input tag as well as the button that we have defined under the subheading subscribe. Then border 1 pixel space solid space white. Alright, hash main hyphen footer space input width as 100%, padding as 8, color as hash triple F, that is the white color. Then background hyphen color hash 555, kind of gray color. Alright, hash main hyphen footer space dot linked list space li, border color RGBA 255 comma 255 comma 255 comma 0.2. Alright, hash main hyphen footer space ul space li space a, color as hash triple F. This will style all the links which are inside the footer. Alright, then hash main hyphen footer space input colon focus, border color hash 57 ADC4. This will change the border color of the input box when it is focused or when it is clicked. Alright, then hash main hyphen footer greater than sign hash instafeed space img height as 2.5 RAM. Alright, then address, since it is a tag we don't have to write a dot or a hash selector before it. Display as block, margin 0, padding 0, font style normal, and font weight as normal. Form comma field set, margin 0, padding 0. This will remove all the margin and the padding. Then border none. Alright, input comma button, display block, resize none, outline none, and color as inherit. Then font size inherit, font family inherit, then vertical align in the middle. Then let's define the part where we have used the copyright. Then hash copyright, since it is an ID. Then padding 20 pixels, space 0. 20 is for the top bottom, 0 is for the left right. Then hash copyright space A, that is all the anchor tags within this ID. Color as white. This will select all the elements within this ID. Then margin as 0, padding as 0. Alright. Then let's style the small back to top button. Hash back to top, since it is the ID that we have defined. Color hash FFF. Background color hash 57ADC4. Z index 999. Display inline hyphen block. Position fixed. Bottom 20 pixels. Right 20 pixels. So this button will be placed starting from the bottom right corner. Width as 36 pixels. Height as 36 pixels. Line height 36 pixels. Font size 1 RAM. Text align center. Opacity 0.3. You can see the back to top ID here. Alright. Hash back to top space I. Display block. Width 100%. Height 100%. Line height inherit. Alright. Then hash back to top colon hover. Opacity 1. Now we have the hovering effect as well. Let's start with the media queries. We are going to write media queries to add the responsiveness to the website. So start with add media space screen space and space open bracket max width 1050 pixels. So now whatever stylings we define under this will be visible or will be applicable when the size of the screen is below 1050 pixels. Hash insta feed display none. We are trying to hide the insta feed section when the size of the screen falls below 1050 pixel, because when the size of the screen falls below 1050 pixel you can see that all the section gets congested, so it is better to get rid of one of the section. Alright, When the size of the screen is greater than 1050 pixel, the Insta feed is displayed again. Hash main hyphen navbar space dot active space A. This will select the active link in the main navigation bar. Then hash main hyphen navbar space A colon hover. This will style the hovering effect of the links in the navigation bar. Hash main hyphen navbar space li colon hover greater than sign A. This will select the li tags which are inside the main navigation bar and will style the hovering effect over the li tag. So when we hover over the li tag, the effect will be on the link which is the direct child of the li tag. Font size 1 RAM. Let's copy all of these font definitions so that we can reduce the font size of all of them. .9, 1.2, 2, 4, dot container, padding 5 RAM, exclamation mark important. This will reduce the padding around the container. So you can see the size of the font reduces when the size of the screen falls below 1050 pixels. Add media space screen space and space open bracket max width 900 pixels. So now whatever stylings we define under this will be applicable when the size of the screen is below 900 pixels. So from 900 to 1050 pixels the above stylings will be applicable, and below 900 this will be applicable. Let's copy all of these starting from the main navigation bar so that we can just remove the font size of them. And let's reduce the margin around the logo. So hash header space hash logo margin 0. Now let's reduce the font size 0.9, 0.8, 1.1, 1.8, 3.2, alright, so you can see the effects. Now let's take care of this text section, because the first two columns are getting very congested, so it is better to get rid of them. And we have to make the images one in a row. So let's start at media space screen space and space open bracket max width 750 pixels. So from 750 to 900 pixels this above stylings will be applicable, and from 900 to 1050 the first one will be applicable, and below 750 whatever we are going to define will be applicable. Dot container padding 3 RAM exclamation mark important. This will override any other padding definitions for this container class. Now let's change the flex properties so that we get one image in one row below 750 pixels. So hash destinations space dot d hyphen flex hyphen r comma hash others hyphen issues space dot d hyphen flex hyphen r comma hash customize hyphen package space d hyphen flex hyphen r comma hash r hyphen blog space d hyphen flex hyphen r. So we have referenced all of the d hyphen flex hyphen r class which we have used in different sections. Now let's change the flex direction to column. Earlier the flex direction was row for this class, and let's make it column so that the images or the elements are aligned, or the images or the elements are displayed one in a row. Then maximum width as max content so that the width of its container elements becomes the maximum of the content. Align self center refresh so they are appearing one in a row, but still the customize package section needs to get the full width of the screen. They are displayed in half of the screen. Dot 1 underscore half width 85 VW alright. Hash extra hyphen text display none. So we are getting rid of the extra text in the text section so that the text is better looking. Now this looks pretty neat. Now hash main hyphen footer space hash company display none. So this will hide the company section of the footer. This is the company section. Now let's add the ID company because we have used this ID in the CSS. Alright. Let's copy this font definitions and reduce the font sizes as well. 0.7 0.9 1.5 3. Now add media space screen space and space open bracket max width 650 pixels. Dot container padding 2 RAM. This will reduce the padding further. Dot font hyphen x2 font size 1.6 RAM. hash main hyphen footer space hash subscribe, display none. So these styling will be applicable when the size of the screen is below 650 pixels. Let me just add the ID subscribe here in the part where we have defined the subscribe button and the input boxes for it. Alright, so you can see as we go on increase the size of the screen, more and more parts of the footer becomes visible, and when we reduce the size of the screen, the parts of the footer gets hidden one by one. I think everything is pretty much complete. So if you like the video, please hit like button and subscribe to the channel, and also let me know in the comment section if you like this series, or if there's anything that you didn't like about the series. Let me know in the comments so that I could work on it in my subsequent video series. Thanks for watching.